Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Doing very well. I'd like to give a preemptive Happy Mother's Day out there to all the mamas, all the babies' mamas, all the
Oh,
babies' mamas, all of them. Happy Mother's Day. Hello, all. Welcome.
yes, happy Mother's Day. Hope everyone has a nice weekend. It looks like it's going to be nice weather. Fingers crossed. Speaking of mothers, haha, just kidding, but we got to do a little house cleaning. First off, thank you so much for Accept the Wind, for being our first friend of the podcast. They play before and after the show and during the breaks. And as always, if you can, please shoot us a subscription below. All the instructions are in the chat. If you are using Amazon Prime, it's free for you. Helps us out. Please, please, please. That would be greatly appreciated. Think of it
I know that
as
song.
something nice your mother would do for us.
I know that song. Please, please, please.
Oh, do you? Do we want to talk about any big announcements, or do we want to wait till the end of the show for those?
Yeah. I have some things to say, some announcements to share with the group, but maybe I'll wait a little bit, let you get the WWE stuff in first, and then we'll see if we get a few more people on.
Sounds
And
good to me.
yeah, so if you're here for the announcement, just stay tuned a little bit. We'll talk for a few minutes, get some more people on maybe, and then I'll drop some bombs on y'all.
I'm excited. Do I know any of these announcements? I think I know one of them.
We will see.
Oh
We
man,
will see.
I'm kind of nervous now. Oh right, so if you've never been here to the show before, or if you're looking at home for the first time on demand, this is our Thursday, and that means we do our last point standing. That's when we talk about all business throughout the week from both AEW and WWE. Things have changed recently post WrestleMania, where my co-host here no longer watches WWE for a very good reason. Jade Falco says they announced a new match for Collision like 7 minutes ago. Is that one of the announcements?
You will have to see.
You gotta stay tuned. So we keep WWE a little shorter now. I only talk about quote unquote the bigger moments, and then if we have predictions, I'll sprinkle in some more knowledge throughout.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about it. And then after that, we talk about AEW, which is a lot more engaging because we both watched that in its entirety. And I think AEW this past week was pretty freaking good. So I'm excited to talk about that. So here we go. Last point saying, let's get them up. Bam.
And we will do all we can to be off the air by 8 o'clock. We know Collision is live tonight at 8, hence
Yes.
us starting a little earlier. We will do our best. If we go
Yes,
a little
yes.
over, we go a little over, but it won't be that much.
Agreed.
So let's get to it.
And as always, if there is a point here that you would like us to talk about that you don't see on here, just throw it in the chat and we'll definitely talk about it. And if you're watching at home on demand and there's something that we didn't talk about that you would like us to talk about, shoot us an email at thesharpshooters1@gmail. Correct?
Come on, Danny. No, the sharpshooters1@yahoo.com.
Damn, I wasn't sure.
This is a Yahoo household.
I forget.
What's with the slashes? What's going on there?
I don't know, Jay DeFalco. I maybe he's excited, like that he's saying he can't wait for these announcements.
He forgot to put in his chat GPT input. All right, let's get started.
All right, so first point. SmackDown, pretty boring. There's really nothing on SmackDown that you're going to want to hear besides whatever is relevant to Backlash. But some things I want to point out that Nick Aldis did that really annoyed me. So this is just a little Nick Aldis rant. Enjoy. First off, he came out and made a tag team match, which is fine by me. I don't care about it. But he did the play at the end for Teddy Long, and with his accent and how he looked, like, you can't do it. It looks terrible. It didn't sound right. I didn't like it. It was annoying. Second thing he did, more relevant. I just didn't like the Teddy Long thing personally. More relevant was last week, Drew McIntyre beat, I believe, LA Knight for a number one contender shot at the United States Championship against Jacob Fatu. This week, Damian Priest and LA Knight got into a problem, whatever. It was spilling all over the show, blah, 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 blah. They go backstage, and Nick Aldis decides to first give them both a U.S. title match at Backlash in a triple threat match. And then when he was reminded by one of them that I'm sorry, by Solo, I believe, that Drew McIntyre was the number one contender, he said, oh, you're right, let's just throw him into the match too. So Backlash, that is how a 4-way United States title match happened for this weekend. It's bullshit. It was terrible storyline-wise. It didn't make sense on TV. I hated it. Just wanted to let you know how this came about.
Yeah, that's pretty weak. That's pretty weak and just very lazy creative.
And
so.
Drew wasn't even there this past Friday to like even defend himself or whatever. So I'm a number one contender too. Apparently, you just gotta go back there and complain. That's it. So that's my little rant about Aldis. Just wanted to let you know. All right, okay. Next up. Then we go over to the land of Raw. Now, Raw started out with I'll honestly say, fantastic Paul Heyman promo. He came out, interrupted Jey Uso, explained why he turned on Roman, was very passionate, was like screaming, his face got real beet red. Classic Paul Heyman stuff. Loved it. Bought into it. Ended it by saying, like, now we're like, Braun Breaker is stage 1, that world title is stage 2. Seth Rollins needs the championship to show that he's the future, that he's leading the charge, yada, yada. Very good storyline, made sense. Sucked him into a trap where he got him to accept a title match for Raw in the main event. Wonderful opening. Loved every second of it. Few segments later, we go backstage to Paul, Braun, and Seth. Seth's gloating how he told him so and was able to manipulate it and get the title shot. He leaves, and Paul Heyman goes into like a legit 2-minute long explanation to Braun Breaker about how Seth is a genius and how he planned this all out and how Seth needs the world championship. And like the entire plot that we kind of got in the opening promo, he spelled out for Braun Breaker like he's an idiot for 2.5 minutes backstage.
Well, you do realize that Braun Breaker is supposed to be us, and that's WWE just being dumb and treating us like idiots. Like,
100%.
That's him talking to the fans.
100%. It's like a classic TV show where the guy just goes and be like, do you understand everything the plot line is right now? Because we're going to explain it in case you don't. It was awful.
They need a Dora the Explorer that just looks at the camera and goes, Can you say what? Like,
oh my God. So it ended with, I believe, a DQ finish. Punk got involved. Braun Breaker got involved. Sami Zayn got involved. A bunch of people got involved. So DQ finish, but Seth's...
No surprise.
It seems like Seth might be the first one before Logan Paul, but Jey Uso started out the night calling out Logan Paul, so I don't know where this World Title Championship picture is going.
Probably nowhere because Jey Uso is still feuding with a part-timer who doesn't show up.
Yeah, I don't understand. Jay DeFalco said legit was typing Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, you get it.
It's like you guys know each other.
Yeah. No, yeah, I heard about the match announcement on Monday night, and as soon as I saw the match announcement, I was like, it's a non-finish.
Of course. Yeah. So I think everyone
I was not surprised at all when that happened, but whatever.
It was depressing. It didn't need the middle. If they just had the beginning and the end, even with the non-finish, made sense with Punk coming in and all that. I'm fine with it. It's a Raw match, whatever. But they didn't need that middle. Just beginning and end would have been a good night for Paul and the bunch. But whatever. I digress. All right, moving on. We are getting into the nitty-gritty of LFG. We haven't talked about LFG in a few weeks. It is playoff time, as they call it in LFG, where they are eliminating contestants. 2 contestants a week, it looks like, until they get to the finals. I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, eliminating. So we haven't talked about it in a while. Any thoughts about a bunch of stuff that's happening? BJ Riley came back. Is it Riley? I don't know. BJ came back. That's been a whole story. Yeah, there you go. Whole story in itself. Booker and Bubba are trying to like take over the show, in my opinion, with what they're doing. Some females are looking light years better than others, and like it's a big surprise in my opinion. Same thing with the males. Some of the males are very surprising me too. So just curious to get your thoughts on the show, since that's something you're actually watching. That's a WWE product technically.
Yeah, I'm only sticking with it because there's only like 2 episodes
Of
left,
course,
and
like we gotta
I'm
finish it.
seeing this through. But it's it's gotten worse. The show's gotten so much worse. Like even when it started off, it was like okay, like I know this is a WWE puff piece. They're gonna gas it up like it's that one thing, but it's really not. Like all these people, they kind of tell you up front. All these people are already kind of signed or under some sort of agreement with WWE. It's just about one of them getting an NXT deal, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
another level up, I guess. So the whole concept of the competition is kind of whack anyway. But just watching it to get like inside insight into the business, it's fine. Taker's actually like putting in an effort. I feel
I
like
agree.
Mickey kind of cares, but I think she knows she has a shit team. Like Taker's really the only one I think that has a good team, but all of them aren't really that great. Um, like
Poor
I'm
Mickey.
looking across the board. There's really not many there that are like I would want to see. But yeah, the show's gotten actively worse. All the BJ stuff is incredibly forced.
Does it? It's
Um,
honestly the worst part of the show. Like if that guy ever
and
gets on a television, I'd be like, no one's gonna want to see him. I don't care what Bubba says.
yeah.
Like
Oh yeah, well yeah,
it's
yeah.
awful.
As soon as Bubba said that at the beginning of the episode, I knew that his mind was already made up. There
Oh,
was no
100%.
point in milking it. When he was like, "This is a hard decision," bullshit. You fucking knew. It was
Mm-hmm.
already done in your head, and the whole concept was dumb. Like they want you to believe in it with the reality TV thing, but like the guy goes hurt and was out half the show, more than half the show. He shouldn't be able to come back and
Yeah.
move on to the end now. It sucks. It's really stupid. I don't think he's winning at all. Personally, I think he's just there for the ratings and people to hate watch. Um, but yeah,
But see,
I don't know
I
who
don't
they're
even think
gonna.
that's working because like I'm not hate watching BJ. I'm just like what like literally I just
Well,
no reaction for him at this point. It's
well,
more like the Bubba reaction than BJ because like Bubba's
yeah,
causing me to hate watch more than and Booker I would say is causing me to hate watch more than BJ is.
yeah. And if not hate watch is the wrong term, it's at least getting them social media engagement. It's getting
That's fair.
attention and people
That's fair. That's
talking
fair. That's
about it.
fair.
The fact that we're even here talking about it right now.
That's fair.
So yeah, I won't be back for season 2 at all. I can guarantee you that much.
Yeah,
Especially with
especially
Mickey
with
leaving and
I was gonna
Michelle
say
coming
especially with
on.
Michelle McCool coming in.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for this to be over just to see who wins.
I was gonna say
So,
let's end it on that. Who do you think wins?
um,
One male, one female.
I feel like I want to say both of Taker's guys. I think his are the best ones. Like Booker's two kind of suck.
I like
Um,
Jasper. I don't mind
I
Jasper.
don't like Jasper at
Really?
all. I checked out on Jasper as soon as he said in that one episode, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not here to be the best. I'm here to be great." And I was like, "You're a fucking idiot." Like he was the one that said that. And when he dropped that, I was like, "You're a dumbass."
That's
I
fair.
don't like him.
That's fair.
He's too emotional. He's too emotional.
That's fair.
He
I,
gets boo boo face whenever
again,
he gets a little.
I I do like Taker's guy better, so I do agree with you.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd give it to both the Takers people.
Yes.
But they're probably gonna split it. They're probably gonna give it to Bubba's girl. Um,
Who objectively has also been good, but it's just the problem is that she's just another run of the mill like blonde
yeah,
WWE girl. Like she
I can see the money in her.
looks
I
like
just
Tiffany
don't like
Stratton
her.
to me. Like
Yeah, and yeah, and I don't really care for Mickey's people at all. I think Mickey picked the wrong girl.
yeah.
But yeah, either way, I'm not really crazy about who's left or any of them ever. It's just whatever. It sucks. Moving on.
All right, moving on to something else that kind of sucks. WWE released a bunch of superstars this past week. Any notable names for you? Any surprises? Anyone that like you're not shocked and it's a long time coming? Thank God. What you got for me?
Yeah, so I it's funny. I even said it, whether it's here on the show or in private, I said to people a few weeks ago that like last weekend was gonna be the day they do this. So legit like that, like Thursday, Friday night, whatever it was, I was like, oh, here they come. They're doing it. So I knew these releases were coming. Not surprised at all. Just to read off, I have a list of all the names. So for anyone that may not be in the loop or not aware, just a reminder of who was released. From the NXT side, we have Cora Jade, Gigi Dolan, Eddie Thorpe, Jakara Jackson, Riley Osborne, Joe and Mark Kofi, Wolfgang. Those were all three were Gallus. Oro Mensa, Javier Bernal, and Danny Palmer, all gone from NXT. And then from the main roster, we have Shotzi Blackheart, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, and Braun Strowman. A
Sexist.
lot of female talent, a lot of big female talent in there getting cut here. Pretty surprising. Dakota Kai is clearly the biggest one, I think. I
agree.
get it. I get why they're doing it because honestly, at this point, she's had a ton of injuries, and like she came back for 2 years, and in 2 years she tore her ACL again, and she tore her meniscus, and then she got a concussion. Like she missed like probably I didn't do the math, probably missed half her time back.
Yeah.
So like, and she had a lot of injuries before that too. So I think they just cut the loss. And I love Dakota Kai, and I hope she ends up in AEW and does well.
It doesn't get
but
hurt.
yeah, who knows, man? It's probably the injury thing. They probably cut their loss there.
No, I mean,
Shayna,
I agree with it
yeah.
too. I'm only surprised Dakota Kai because how recently she was in the IC title picture and everything. It's not like all the rest of the women weren't really being used, so like it's unfortunate. But even Shayna Baszler, like she was on TV, but she wasn't really being used. So I get it.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai was being used. She was in Damage Control as whatever that version is now, but like still part of the big, like she was in Io Sky's corner a lot. So that was the biggest surprise.
Yeah, Braun Strowman. I mean, I've made it
riddance.
clear I don't like him. I don't care for him.
They're
Good
gonna
riddance.
re-sign him.
He sucks, and he's a miserable person that hates the independent scene. So I hope nobody signs him, and he ends up nowhere. And then from there, I mean, Cora Jade too, man. I mean, she got used a lot in NXT, and I think all the new people coming in just pushed her out.
Yeah.
And they moved on from her. And I really am curious about who here could come back or be in AEW, because you got some people like Cora Jade, and Gigi Dolan, who, if you remember, I mean, they burnt some bridges back in the day with AEW and some talent like Jericho and Darby. So I'm really curious if either of those two. I like both of them, for the record, Cora and Gigi. I hope they both come back to AEW, because they did wrestle there on Dark for a little bit. So.
Can we all say, though, this is the problem with all these companies now also buying up all the other companies, because now they really can't go anywhere, because now you go to TNA, that's WWE associated, so they're not going to sign you. You can't go over to ROH because that's with AEW, they're not going to sign you. So, like, where do they go?
Yeah, well, Indy Hartwell just signed with TNA. She's going to end up wrestling NXT people every week now.
Like, it's so
I mean, listen,
silly.
people need work. They got to get their jobs, but it's tough.
I get it.
I don't know, I don't know who these people get. I don't know where they land or get signed, but personally, if it was up to me and I was running AEW, I would bring in Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, Cora Jade, and Gigi Dolan.
But you know what's also true, and I saw him tweet this, and I got to agree with him. A lot of those names could be a Matt Cardona. They could really just tear up the indie scene. They have big enough names. People are going to want to see them. They really could just go out there and make a good living for themselves if they didn't want to go to AEW. Just depends how many of them are actually going to put in the work. You know what I mean? There's always Hogan's and Bischoff's totally new, real. Oh, I didn't put that on there. You know what? Thank you for reminding me, Jay DeFalco. Let's add that really quick, and let's talk about that really quick. I'm just going to add that point. Hold on.
You can talk about it. I have nothing to say.
Okay, that's fine. I'll talk about it. No problem. I forgot what it was called, but I'm just gonna put that in here. Hogan. We'll put it in the WWE side since Juice doesn't want to talk about it.
I'm not wasting any breath on those two.
All right. So I'll talk about this real quick because it was brought to my attention about the Hogan Bischoff thing, and I did look a little bit into it. I am going to research it a little bit more because I do want to have more, have a better opinion about it. Besides that, I just hate that it's Hogan and Bischoff doing it. But on the initial whatever information I got, if it's true to what they're saying and they're going to try to do more like a UFC than a WWE thing with amateur freestyle wrestlers, it's a great idea. The problem is the people running it are going to run it into the ground no matter how great the idea is. But there's a lot of amateur freestyle wrestlers out there that like train, go to college, and if you don't make the Olympics, that's it. then what do you do from there? Like, I trained a lot of kids being a wrestling coach, and they've made it to college. I'm thinking of like one kid in particularly, and like once college is done, if he doesn't make the Olympic team, there is nothing out there for him unless he wants to go to pro wrestling or something like that. So if what they're saying, and I saw like 1 or 2 interviews where they were saying like they want it, when their words were, we want it to be as big as WWE and UFC, not like WWE and UFC. So like I took that obviously optimistically as they're trying to, I know, and again, I'm going to research it more. Relax, buddy. But that like it's a freestyle wrestling company and not an actual like sports entertainment thing. But I don't know what they're gonna do with it. It depends on how, and also how involved Hogan and Bischoff are gonna be, or if they're just like there to get the name on so people would like pay attention to it, and they're not gonna do much after that. Because honestly, unless it's an entertainment thing, there's really nothing for Hogan and Bischoff to do in a freestyle wrestling company. So really, I'm curious, but not optimistic of what Hogan and Bischoff are going to do. Just I listened to that. I was like, maybe this is what they mean, but it's going to be terrible no matter what they do because it's Hogan and Bischoff. But yeah, so that's the initial thought of what the company looks like it's going to be. Who knows? Time will tell. I'll bring it up one more time when like it becomes a clearer picture on the podcast. Just talk about it. It's all right. I know you don't want to. But yeah, if you guys have any opinions, throw it in the chat. Again, send it to the email if you're watching on demand, and I'll answer them worse comes to worse, all right? And last but not least, for the WWE points, we have predictions. So let me pull up that prediction page. Give me 1 second. And then, Juice, what I'll do is we'll run through them real quick. We don't really talk too much about it. And I'll bring up anything that might be important, in my opinion, for like the predictions, anything that happened on Raw or SmackDown that might change your opinion on something. And then, yeah, that's it. We'll just show the fans what our predictions are. Sorry, I'm just trying to fix us. Usually I do this a lot smoother. I apologize, everybody. All right. Boom. Get us up here. There we go. All right, so below us, we have our predictions for Backlash 2025. There we go. And really quick, we're just going to run through them. I'll let you know what happened on Raw or SmackDown, if anything. And then if you have any opinion, please let me know. So we start off with Gunther versus Pat McAfee. We both picked Walter/Gunther, which is actually coincidental because this past week on Raw, they had a face-to-face encounter. Pat McAfee kind of just said how he's going to be underestimated and he's going to beat Gunther like Jey Uso did and like Sami Zayn did and stuff like that. And at one point, he did call him Walter. He's like, you're not the Walter of old, or you're not the one who used to like Walter around here or whatever. So like that's why I'm going to beat you this Saturday. And Gunther just got in his face and said, you know what? Thanks for waking me up. I'm going to come this Saturday and rip your fucking head. Like, I'm going to kill you this Saturday is pretty much what he said. So I'm very curious to see, like, to read what the results are going to be. If it's a squash match or if they actually let Pat McAfee get some offense in. But I think based on the promo, I don't see how McAfee wins.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't, and it's awful that this match is even happening. So
agreed. Next point, and over under, since you haven't been watching, how many more videos do you think they've played of this rivalry between John Cena and Randy Orton than they've had in actual face-to-face encounters? Because that's what the whole build. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Someone played the John Cena thing. It's going to go on for a little while. Oh, it's off. Thank God. Because that's pretty much what this whole build-up to the rivalry has been, is a lot of memories of the rivalry.
Nostalgia updating, that's it. Because
Yes.
the fucking Cena thing sucks. They should have never given him the fucking belt. This is a waste of time.
Yes.
Complete waste of time.
They're up to, last count, if I counted correctly, I believe they're up to 4 videos of like their old rivalry, and they've only come face to face twice, but 3 times is going to be this coming Friday. So at least they get a 3rd time in there before the show. Moving on, we have the women's intercontinental title match between Lyra Valkyria. I think I finally said it right. And
Lyra.
Damn it. Lyra, and I was going to say Lyra, and I second guessed myself. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch. Pretty much the only update from this past Monday, which this is the only match I'm not positive about. Becky might win this, but I think they're going to try to keep it on Lyra. They just kind of had it back and forth where, like, Becky was saying how she was the one to, like, bring her in, and then she felt betrayed, and the fans can't figure out because they were cheering her until she took out the trash of Bayley. The only thing that upset me that, like, I thought was a missed opportunity in the promo was she kept calling Bayley trash, which is fine, and then she said that Lyra was recycling, which isn't as bad as trash, but, like, almost as bad, whatever. I thought they missed the line because she was trying to say how, like, she was trying to help Lyra, where, like, what do you do with recycling? You reuse it. You try to make it better. Whatever. Like, they could have done something with that, but she kind of went right to just, like, garbage and you're a better version of garbage. It was a very strange promo. I don't know why she brought up recycling in the first place, but big surprise. So yeah, so that's gonna be Lyra versus Becky. We both pick Lyra. Intercontinental title match that was just added on Raw. Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. There wasn't really any, like, crazy interaction. There was a match. They didn't even announce it, like, in a promo. They announced it during a match on commentary. So kind of see how that's going to go with Dominic Mysterio winning. And last but not least, we have the Fatal 4-Way, which I explained before, how that was made up between Fatu, LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. Any closing? Hold on. Freebird says, I like Lyra, was never a big fan of Becky. Any closing thoughts, Juice?
This card looks awful.
It does.
I'm sorry. The only match that I even would have a slight interest in watching is the Becky Lyra match, and that's the only one where I don't know who's going to win. Because that's the only one I was like, they could do Becky here.
Exactly.
I don't think they should. But I also looked at it, and even though the crowd won't react that way, currently we have 4 out of 5 matches with heels winning.
Yes.
But, like, still, again, the crowd doesn't care. The crowd is going to cheer all 4 of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not Walter, but yeah.
It depends on what kind of beating he gives him, because some of these crowds get, like, bloodthirsty. So if he really just, like, kills Pat McAfee, they might be cheering him by the end of that.
Yeah. This is not a good card. I am not going to watch. I know previously I was at least watching pay-per-views, but I'm skipping this completely.
Totally fair. Honestly,
no interest.
the only I'm gonna read pretty much all the results, and if there's anything that looked interesting, I'll watch it just to see, like, what happened in the moment and stuff. But I'm not really excited about this. I don't really want to waste a Saturday watching this. So especially with NBA playoffs coming on, because the Knicks are up 2-0, baby.
But they play at 3:30. So
I don't care.
I'm just saying it's not at night. Whatever.
Well,
I'm just trying to.
Maybe there might be another game at night. I like all basketball, bro. Come on now. Back off. Jay DeFalco says Bayley can come out to mess with Becky. Odds of Michael Cole getting in near the ring to distract Walter. Ooh, that's a good question. Because this whole rivalry centered around Cole. Does Cole get involved?
Fine. I wasn't going to bring it up, but I'm going to go there because I heard about it online. I swear they're going to do Goldberg. And
what do you mean? He's going to come out and help?
That's been the word on the streets, is that Goldberg is going to come out and
for the
set up
SummerSlam build.
It's SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So, whatever, man. Whatever.
That's going to suck. So then if that's the case, most likely the match ends. Walter beats Pat McAfee, and then he goes to continue the beatdown. He goes to get Michael Cole, and then Goldberg
booking.
Comes out. What's more likely? Goldberg coming out to save Walter, or Michael Cole ripping off his suit to display the orange singlet underneath and make the save for Pat McAfee?
Well, Michael Cole, because Goldberg wouldn't come out to save Walter.
You're right. Sorry. Goldberg come out to save Pat McAfee. Sorry. Damn it.
Goldberg's more likely.
I'm sorry, guy. If he just rips it off and there's the orange singlet, I'm going to poke out my eyeballs. Yeah. All right. We got a bunch of viewers on now. Do you want to make some big announcements?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop some news on everybody. So open up those
Yeah, let's
eardrums
get
and
these terrible.
listen up.
Let's get this terrible card off. And you know what? I'm gonna give you the big screen juice. There you go,
Oh
buddy.
no, it's a lot of pressure.
I know.
All right, first off, something we've probably mentioned here on the show already. I want to just share it here again formally over the next few weeks. On May 30th, Danny and I will be on the Till Five, not yeah, the Till Five
Yes, sir.
Wrestling podcast over on Facebook. They are going to be hosting a greatest women's wrestler of all time tournament, and we will be on that show voting along with them. So we'll have links as we get closer. But again, that's over on the Facebook side. The folks over at Till Five Wrestling, greatest women's wrestler of all time,
Yes,
May 30th. So stay tuned for more details as they get closer.
Those are
And
always
speaking,
interesting debates with them. So please join
Yep.
just to watch.
And speaking of tournaments, we are happy and thrilled to announce
Let's go.
for the first time in probably a year, we are going to be doing another 64 field tournament.
I'm excited about this one.
So we have, for those of you that have not been watching us since the beginning, we used to do tournaments maybe once every 2 months,
Yeah.
maybe with our co-host Matt. But unfortunately, Matt had life, and
Son of a bitch, that biggie looking motherfucker.
now he's no longer with us here on the show. So without a third, we didn't really have a way to do tournaments for a while. But
hashtag where is Matt?
Matt made his choice. Matt screwed Matt. So
Finally.
because of the fantasy game, our winner, Jay DeFalco 7, has been given the gift of joining us here on the show to do our next tournament. Now, the category is going to be the greatest finishing move of all time.
I'm really, really excited about this tournament.
And so everybody start thinking. If you want to throw some names in the chat now, go for it. But we are locking in the field tomorrow. So by the way, Danny and Jay DeFalco, get me your list tomorrow. And we're going to do, not next week, but the week after. And then the week after that, we'll be doing the first round and then the rest of the rounds. So not next week, but tune in the next 3 weeks and you'll see the tournament here on our Tuesday editions.
Yes.
Some questions we have. I need a televised contract signing before I show up. Sure, we'll do that. And Freebird says, do submission moves count?
Yes.
So, it's funny. They do count. For a minute there, I did consider maybe we shouldn't, but I didn't want to go there. So submission moves will count.
we also are called the SharpSHOOTers. It would be kind of crazy if we don't count submission moves.
Well, we would do a different tournament, but either way, we're not. It's one greatest finishing move of all time tournament in a week and a half time, and it'll be a 2-week endeavor. So get excited, get hyped, and let us know what finishing moves you think need to be in the tournament.
And also
can.
to be clear, because we were talking about it and we kind of settled on it, we aren't looking at one specific finishing move. We are looking at a finishing move in general, and then we can debate, who used it, whatever, such as like the power bomb. We're not looking at Kevin Nash's jackknife power bomb. We're just looking at a power bomb, and then the different variations of it we can use in the argument for the tournament if we're trying to get it through or not. So
same thing with like the spear. It's not like Edge's spear, Roman spear, but that complicates things.
That's
not
the
really.
point.
If anything, that simplifies things because now because it's about the move and not so much the person doing the move. That can factor into the move, but this tournament's about the moves in themselves and not the people doing them. If that makes sense.
Also, keep in mind,
it's not like Shawn Michaels' elbow drop wins. It's the elbow drop wins.
Exactly.
But,
and also keep in mind that we're trying to make a variety of a field, and if we're including specific people, then we're going to have 4 spears in the tournament. We're going to have 5 power bombs or 3 super kicks, and then we don't get to do other finishers that should be in there, but because we had to include so many of one version, they didn't get the bump.
Some stuff's going to get left out. It's going to get brutal. This is probably the hardest field I've ever had to put together.
I have scribbled out a list 3 different times, and just I feel like Charlie Day in that GIF where I'm just trying to figure out what goes where. So it's gonna be crazy.
So one more announcement, and then we'll go to commercial break. for all of you. This is the big one. I am here to happily confirm that season 2 of the budget game is happening. Road to All In, beginning at Double or Nothing and going all the way through All In.
Let's
It'll
go.
be it'll be a 2-month game. And so yeah, so signups are officially open now. If you want in, go in the chat, say you're in, hit us up on socials, let me know. And again, as far as I know, all 10 that were doing it last season are back in. So Freebird,
He
what is
knows.
that?
He knows.
Well,
He
no,
gotta be
it's
messing
okay.
with
Well,
us.
I'm explaining it to him regardless. So, if you recall the Road to WrestleMania fantasy game that I was doing over the last 3 or so months, the budget game, yes, it's the fantasy thing where you budget your money, you use it to put together a team, and then I score the team. Whoever has the most points at the end of the whole thing wins. So we did a WWE one for Rumble to Mania. Now we're doing an AEW one that starts at Double or Nothing in about 2.5 weeks, and it's going to end at All In, which is in like mid-July. So this is like 2 months. Not It's a little less than that too. So it won't be as long. This is going to be different. I'm going to make some changes. I'm going to tweak some things to try them out and see how they go. So don't expect the same exact game as last time. And
Interesting.
yeah, so again, if you had friends that were interested, now is the time. They have to sign up because once
If
Double or Nothing is underway, that's it.
if
Can't sign
Juice
up.
if Juice is smart, he'll probably revamp how he does the foreign objects because in AEW he'll be counting for a long time in like any given pay-per-view. So yeah, I think I need to
We'll
make some
see.
tweaks for AEW.
We will see. Keep an eye out again. The field, everything's being built right now behind the scenes, but I wanted to formally
I'm very
announce it
excited.
here on the show. Season 2 is happening. AEW Road to All In.
All right. All right. You heard it here, guys. Start signing up. Start saying Juice messages. Put it in the chat. Send us on any of our socials. Let us know and we'll get you in. We're going to go to commercial break so we can talk about AEW when we get back and try to be out of here by 8 for Collision. Be right back.
Okay.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking with us through that commercial break. We are coming back to our last point standing AEW part now, so part 2. So, Juice, why don't you lead us off with the wonderful and timeless Tony Storm?
Sure, but before we do that, I want to give a shout out to Keverlast, who just resubscribed to us with using Prime. Thank
Hey!
Thank you, Keverlast, for the support. Yes, screw those ads. Excellent time as always for a resub. If you don't like ads, that's an excellent reason to use your Amazon Prime account and give us a free sub. It costs you nothing, and it pays us all the same.
14
Thank you
months
very much.
going strong. Thank you, Keverlast.
No, I think that's him resubscribing for 14 more months. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
That's commitment. So Collision, very good Collision this past week. I think AEW has had a great week. They're on a roll. This past week was in Atlantic City in Collision. Nice venue. It's where Ring of Honor was supposed to be, but they canceled the show. Very weird start to Collision though. With Adam Cole coming out, doing his whole entrance, and then getting lost in the crowd looking for the announcer's table.
I was so confused.
And then Tony Storm comes out to start her match, and it was just a very odd opening. But I guess they wanted the crowd to pop for Adam Cole. But I'll take it.
Part of me wonders if we were supposed to see Adam Cole because, like, I don't.
We were.
I was expecting a tag team match. I was expecting a Daniel Garcia match. I was expecting literally anything else besides a Tony Storm match to start off the show. Mm-hmm. And then as the night progressed, I was like, okay, he's meant to be out here the whole night. Okay, it wasn't just for the first segment. Like, thank God. It makes a little more sense now, but I wish that was explained a little bit better.
Yeah, it was weird. It was odd, I think. I think they just wanted to get Cole to pop on TV.
For sure. I didn't mind it. I love Cole.
I like what they've been doing with Tony Storm for the last few weeks. How, like, she's like, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to keep fighting while the Owen is going on. Her match with Lady Frost was solid, nothing crazy, but just solid. I loved her running outside onto the boardwalk and doing her promo in Atlantic City.
Bro, when she kept saying, "Or over here, I'm over here, now I'm here, and I'm sleeping here," I was, I mean, eating it. I'm eating it all up, bro. Anything she does, I'm loving it.
Yeah, and I like the 4-way eliminator this week. I personally would have had somebody. I get they want to keep Tony Storm's undefeated eliminator streak thing going. I guess that now is a thing. I would have liked it if somebody beat someone else that wasn't Tony to get the title shot.
I really agree.
That would have been a little bit of a fun story, but I get what they're doing with the undefeated thing. Fine. I just don't know what Tony's doing, if anything, at Double or Nothing. You would think it's Megan Bayne again, but I don't know.
They really haven't crossed paths that much though. So like a little bit. No. I'm just not enough for me to think that it's gonna be a match coming up. Like, I don't know.
It's the easiest one to run back though.
I agree.
They just fought last month.
I do agree.
That's why I think they do that. Because I was thinking about it, like, Double or Nothing. This is gonna be me. I always do this, I know, but like Double or Nothing is in like a week and a half, and there's only 2 matches announced.
And that's why I agree. Like they'll do something like that, but I figure Anna Jay Harley versus Bayne and Penelope at the pre-show. It says Jay DeFalco.
Yeah, that checks out.
And that's kind of another reason why I wasn't thinking Penelope versus Tony, because like I feel like Bayne and Penelope have been doing other stuff.
So that brings me to my final point, and then we can move on from this though.
Good, the bell rang.
Did you see the Red Spider?
No.
Damn it! I was hoping you would have seen it. Okay, because all right. Well, so last night during the women's 4-way, in the top left corner of the screen, for like 2-3 seconds, a little red spider came crawling down, stayed there, and crawled back up. You didn't see that?
No, but now I'm gonna rewatch that match and look for it.
It's very quick. You're better off looking for like a GIF or a video. I can send you like what it looks like on Twitter. But
okay.
So what that is pretty much.
Did you see it original in the original feed?
I did.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did, and I wrote to my brother, and I was like, "Did you see it?" And he's like, "We'll see what?" And I'm like, "Shit!" Like no one saw it. I was like, "I'm not lying." So it looks like. Remember, I mentioned a week or 2 back about Thekla, talent from New Japan, or from Japan. So her nickname is the Toxic Spider. So
that's cool.
pretty much, I think this is confirming that they signed Thekla and she's inbound. So I
Jada
don't know if
Falco
she faces
says,
Tony.
and
But
maybe this relates to that, give Tony Storm an open challenge eliminator for the pay-per-view.
yeah, maybe,
Here comes Tekla.
maybe. All right, so these next two I want to get through pretty quick. Nothing really crazy I want to sit on.
Go ahead.
Sammy Guevara winning that 4-way, and looks like he's going to be fighting Adam Cole in the next few weeks for a TNT title match. Very odd call. I guess they're heating him up because Texas is coming up with All In, and like they want to get him back on TV. But he hasn't been on AEW since like September, October, and now here he is winning a 4-way over like significant enough guys that should have won. I think so. I don't know what you thought about it, but I thought it was a very odd call.
So it was
And then
funny.
Hologram was watching.
Yeah,
Just
that's what
very weird.
I was gonna say. I found that weirder. I was excited initially just because I like Sammy Guevara, and we haven't seen him in a while. I know he's been doing the ROH stuff, but I was also surprised that he won. I thought that was a weird call,
Yeah.
just because like, are you gonna have them stick around now, or like is him and Dustin gonna be around week to week now? I don't understand it, but no, I thought it was weirder
They're
that
probably gonna be on
Hologram
more.
was just in the whatever rafters like Sting used to be watching, and I didn't like that. That seemed a little strange to me.
I didn't mind it. It was just odd.
Didn't
But
like it. You're
yeah.
not
So
Sting.
next up, well, come on.
Well, he's
Um,
not.
all right. Brody King,
versus
Josh
Alexander.
Alexander. Solid match. Ended in a time limit draw though. This was one where I mean I get like TK loves Brody and wants to protect him, but like I feel like you should have just given Josh the win here. I mean I can't recall every match he's had so far, but I don't think he's won a singles match yet. He's only won like tags, so I don't know. They'll both be fine. Like this, it wasn't terrible, but I don't know. It was a very weird night with everything, with the Adam Cole thing, and then the Josh Alex, and then the draw here, and then the Sammy and hologram. It was a good night. It was very odd.
I was gonna say it wasn't a bad night. It was just very strange with some of the calls they were making. I kind of agree with you. I like that they finally did a draw with like not a title on the line or something like that. That I understand that, but you could have had Callis and the Callis family help out and interfere and cost the match and help Josh Alexander win. Like you're right, and this is what I told you, which I think when we talked about Josh Alexander the first time you mentioned it before he was signed, I was saying like he's technically a big name, and I don't like how AEW brings big names in, especially heels, and have them lose pretty much right away. And like they don't let them get built up. They don't let them be like Lance Archer. I always go back to that as a great example. They don't let these guys get built up and be able to like do stuff until a few months into the reign, and then like maybe they're still good enough, maybe they're not. So I agree with you.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to one of the elephants in the room that I know you've been wanting to talk about for a few weeks now. I've been trying to avoid it, but I have.
They made
I have
shirts.
accepted it. I have accepted it only because I love these guys and respect them so much that I can't not. So I have to just move on.
I
as
need
much as it
you. I
kills
just
me.
need you to explain to me why Paragon.
Well, that I can't really do off the top of my head.
Then I can't accept it.
Okay. Well, I do.
I don't know what it
there's
means.
Well, Paragon. It's like the top level. It's the elite. It's one of those kind of words, like being up there. Like,
But like,
it makes sense. The word makes sense. Here, I'll give you.
no. Okay, now I understand that, but like, I just don't like it. Then just accept the win. Then. All right,
Paragon.
let's just talk about the match now. Jada Falco
Something
convinced
that
me. Let's move on.
Something that is a model of excellence or perfection. So I mean, I don't hate the name. It's hard to do it, but I get that what they're trying to do is they want to move on from the Undisputed Era thing. The Kingdom isn't there anymore. The Kingdom is back in Ring of Honor. So this is just them rebranding and getting a new identity. I don't hate it. I am sad. I missed it, and I hope that the Kingdom and Wardlow can one day come back into this whole thing. But who knows?
Bro, I don't think Wardlow's ever coming back.
No, he's coming back. But no, and as for the match, though, honestly, I mean, I like the match. You can't go wrong. FTR and Paragon, O'Reilly and Strong. I mean, these guys have been killing it. So You could. This is like the conglomeration last year. You put these four in a ring any week. I'm good. I can watch them go, and it's amazing.
So what I
but
will say was, and we've been saying, how is it going to work? Does it going to work? Blah, blah, blah. Stokely showed how it's going to work. And I didn't mind his involvement in the match. I do like how he was kind of coaching. The subtle, like, him telling Dax to tap out and stuff like that. Like, if that's how it's going to be, I really don't mind the relationship. I think it's going to work well.
Yeah, and I'm curious how Daniel Garcia factors in because I almost feel like he has to join, but we'll see.
I agree.
We'll see how things progress.
All right.
Moving on, if you are not familiar or if none of you have heard about this, the Righteous are no longer with AEW. They have requested their release, and it was granted. And I think it's a huge miss. I mean, I'm not big on the Righteous, but I like the Righteous. They grew on me a lot, especially with this AEW run. Like, I liked them in TNA. I liked them in Ring of Honor originally, but not like that much. But just, I don't get it.
I think they have a better. I think they have a better gimmick and stuff than half the tag teams that they're still like. No offense to Crew, no offense to Top Flight. I think Righteous is a better gimmick than those two. Like, I'd rather see them on TV than those guys right now.
And we'll get to it in a few bullet points, but it's just another wasted opportunity on a tag team that could have probably been more if you just really committed to what they were about. And like there was so much there, and it's a shame.
Tony, you can tell doesn't know how to do like not necessarily the supernatural, but like the creepy, like that kind of stuff. Like, look what he did with Dark Order. They had a chance. Even when they rebranded, they lost Brody. You could have still done something with them after. You missed the opportunity on that. Not that she was ever going to be huge, but like Abaddon, they brought in and they were hyping Abaddon up and then disappeared. And like that could have been a different character for the women's division.
It's
like he
probably
just doesn't do
big
dark
part.
stuff.
Yeah, it's probably a big part why him and Malachi butted heads.
Yeah,
and it
agreed.
didn't work
out.
That's
a great point.
He has a hard time doing something with the lower mid card men and women. He does it. It's just like, I mean, again, we'll get to it in a few bullet points, but it's not a consistent thing. But it's hard to spin all the plates, and those are just ones that just get forgotten. But moving on, can I tell you how much I popped at the beginning of Dynamite this week when I was just chilling, and all of a sudden the stream pops up, and I just hear Sum 41 blasting through.
I was so confused, but so happily confused.
I love Sum 41.
They're
huge
great.
fan of Sum 41. I hope this stays as a theme, and it wasn't just like a 1 week or 1 month thing. I think it's the one now because it's just great. It's a great theme song.
It was such a good theme
Loved
song.
it. Just wanted to give it its props here. Yeah, that's all. Next point.
I agree. I loved it.
Kind of a big one. Big ones. We'll start with the women first. I think that one would be quicker.
Agreed.
I loved everything with the Owen Cup finals segments going on last night. The Mercedes and Hayter backstage bit, the promo Hayter cut was very good.
Yes.
The beatdown with Mercedes coming back out, and then they kind of did what I wanted, where like Mercedes ran away, Hayter celebrated, and Mercedes came back out. She didn't go through a different tunnel, but they did the bit. So I was really happy with that. I still think they're setting it up for Hayter to win it. Personally, I won't mind either way, but I think they need to keep heating up Hayter more and more each week. She needs it, and this was good. So I think they're really setting us up for Hayter to get it. So what do you think?
Really quick, Jade Falco said need to put that with some Benny Hill music. I agree with you, and you know I've been very big on the Mercedes versus Tony train, and I thought that's where it was going and stuff like that. But after this promo, I really think Hayter is going to be the one. I think they set it up with the way she was talking, with literally what she said, and I'm not, especially with AEW, the whole like whoever ends the go home show or the lead up show on top is usually the one who loses. They don't really stick to that, so that's why I don't take stock into Sasha was on top this week. That means she's probably going to lose. No,
Who?
that just means that she's on top this week. So,
Who? Who?
sorry, I said Sasha Mercedes. I apologize.
Oh,
Thank you.
oh,
Thank you,
okay,
thank you,
okay.
thank you. But no,
You're
I
welcome.
agree. I think Hater's gonna come out on top, and it's gonna be really a great match. I'm really excited to watch it.
All right, and now the opening segment last night. Can I just say, A+.
Yes.
Like, that was an excellent segment. It was everything you needed to do for Adam Page, for Will Ospreay. Like, I love that they didn't even bring up really Moxley or the Death Riders or
Mm-hmm.
the title, kind of not really. It was so much about the two of them in that match and right now, and it set the table. It was exactly what at least I needed as a fan to now be fully on the fence and okay with kind of wherever they go, because now you've set it up: redemption versus ascension. Only one of you can get it. Who's it gonna be? And they've at least given Paige the time to say his piece, where a lot of things were not said. I mean, where I was kind of feeling about how I was feeling about
Mm-hmm.
Paige. So I still would want Osprey more, but now I'm fully more okay with it going either way at this moment. So,
It's
what do you think?
it's hilarious how the segment did the same thing for both of us. But since we were
Mhm.
on opposite sides of the fence to begin with, now we're both just sitting right on the middle of the fence, waiting to see like which way the fence falls. Because again, I've been opposing you with this, where I've really been wanting more so for the story Adam Page to win, and I
Mhm.
really think they've been setting it up. And then, like you just said, Osprey hit me with that Ascension line, and I was just like, damn.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Fuck,
the thing.
like
They've
you're
now
right.
given you
Like,
they've now given them both matches, men and women. They've both given them clear motivations
yeah.
and hope. Where like they're going to be great matches because you can legit see either person winning either
And
one.
I was just say,
So
hope outside the title. Like we all know what's on the line with the title shot, but like Osprey bringing up that they never faced before. Osprey bringing up that like he understands everything he's going through, and he was there, and he was a fan, and all this, and then saying like it
Mhm.
doesn't matter though. Like it's my time, your time was over. You wasted your shot,
and
and like I loved it. It was great.
mhm. And you know what? Last thing about it, props to Osprey and even that crowd, because that promo that Osprey was cutting, pretty heelish,
Mm-hmm.
especially after what Paige just did.
Mm-hmm.
And Osprey kept the crowd. The crowd didn't turn on him, so they stayed with them, and I think that was very important for this segment, because the last thing you need is for like one crowd to start jeering, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But so that was
And I
good.
can't wait for the
Very
tag team
good.
match next week. It's gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
Gonna be
So
great.
speaking of tag teams, next up the tag titles. Um, I'm sorry. I know I'm a hater. It was an immense mistake to put the belts on the Hurt Syndicate. Like
Herpes
they
Syndicate.
Hurt Syndicate, the Hurt Biscuits. It was a mistake. Like clearly, it was not the plan. They pivoted to get the belts on them because they were getting reactions, and now your entire tag team division is suffering because of it, which they already were before this. Like, I think the tag division is in worse condition than the women. And people probably don't want to hear that because they want the women to get all the time in the world. But the tag team division is in way worse shape. Like when they're calling out people and you get Crew and Top Flight who are still in this endless cycle with each other, and then Top Flight gets beat up by MJF for the sake of that story. Like that story doesn't need the tag belts.
Yeah.
The tag belts could be doing something with anybody else. Like now, and that brings me to my point earlier with like the Righteous, Santana and Ortiz, the Best Friends. Like these are all tag teams that just lost potential, lost moments. Even the Dark Order, I'll say it, like they deserved it too
I agree.
at a certain point. Like so many tag teams haven't gotten their names in there, and everyone doesn't need a belt to be over or get a push. But like, really was, and now you set it up where like Lashley and Shelton are such a big tag team. Like a big tag team needs to beat them. You know what I mean? Like
or
now,
or
like
like
I
or
don't,
like a very popular tag team that joins force. Like some big
yeah.
names have to beat them. It can't be just
And
like
that's why
Top
I
Flight.
hate this. That's why I hate this because, like, Top Flight, no shot.
Mm-hmm.
Crew, no shot.
Mm-hmm.
Outrunners, no shot. Gates of Agony, no shot. Like, who? It's not a good tag title reign. Huge mistake to put them on them. I hate it. And I like Shelton and I like MVP. I don't like Lashley, but in general, that act should not have the belts.
I agree. I think I think the whole MJF thing, like, feel whatever you feel about Top Flight. I always hate,
Yeah.
unless you're like a big monster, you shouldn't be taking out 2 guys at once by yourself most of the time. Like, I get how he did it, didn't mind it too much, but like, I feel bad for Top Flight. You just killed them, and they were already kind of
Made 'em
going
look like
down after
chumps.
Crew, so like they just got wrecked by MJF. And you're right. Ever since they won the belts, I'd argue that this is worse to the title division than when Young Bucks had it last year. Like, and that was bad for the tag division too. Like,
Yeah, well, think about it. Even with Private Party and then the Bucks, and who had them before the Bucks? Like, when's the last time we had our actual like
Sting and
good
Darby.
tag team champions?
Yeah.
But even they had it for like a fucking a month
months?
or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks. 'Cause they beat Starks and Big Bill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we haven't
And
like
even
had a
that,
real tag team have the
it's
belts in a
such
long
a-
time.
It's really a shame.
I
Like
agree.
the tag and the trios, man. They
Especially
gotta fix it.
and what makes it more annoying is this is what they were supposed to be built upon. Like, that's why the Young Bucks were supposed to be EVPs, is they were
Yeah.
supposed to look out for the tag team division, blah 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 blah. Great job.
Yeah.
Awesome job.
All right, moving on. Next up, Big Pop, Rhino.
Yeah, that
Showing
was
up.
dope. He looks fat as
Um,
shit, but that was dope.
Hey man, you leave my little feet guy alone.
Bro,
got
he looks
little
terrible, but I
little
loved
feet,
watching
big
him.
body. I mean, listen, I loved it. Obviously, they announced it like a few days earlier that Rhino was going to be at both shows
Yeah.
for Ring of Honor and AEW. So like, as soon as they said somebody from Christian's past was fighting, I was like, okay, this is
In
Rhino's
Detroit,
spot.
right? Like, you kind of knew.
Yeah. So that was dope. I loved seeing Rhino. I mean, the crowd was not happy. Apparently, he never hit the spear, the gore, and
the crowd was
I don't think he hit it
pissed.
during. I don't think he. Yeah, the crowd was pissed. Like, how do you bring him out? He's probably gonna hit it tonight at Ring of Honor, but yeah, I like seeing Rhino. That was dope. I like Nick Wayne. He's kind of a. I think Nick Wayne definitely wrestled Rhino's match, as respectfully as I can say that. And now Nick Wayne is off to Japan for about a month. So we'll see how things go with Christian over the next month now. If he just disappears or is still on
So
TV.
that's what I was gonna say. You got to imagine for the storyline, you can't just have him disappear. So you got to imagine like Christian Cage is gonna come out, maybe like berate him, maybe put Saban like in a higher pedestal while he's gone, and like talk up Saban and try to like get him to not be on the same page with Nick. So while Nick's gone, he's trying to get Kip more towards him. But you gotta do something, because if you like let this stagnate and then he comes back and that's when you start this rivalry like up again, it like people are gonna forget and it's not gonna be as impactful. Like, you kind of want it almost that he talks shit about Nick the whole time while he's gone. Hopefully Nick wins the tournament or comes pretty close to winning the tournament. Not
Yeah.
for him, just for the storyline's sake. And
Yeah,
then
no, I know. It just
comes back.
unlikely.
Yeah,
but
yeah. And then comes back and Christian like berates him, and then that's when he turns on him. That's when they take him out, and that's when you put Christian on the shelf for a little while, so the eventual E and C connection gets back.
Yeah, we shall
Or
see.
sorry, C and C now, because it would be Cope and Christian.
Yep, C squared.
C,
all
C
right.
squared.
Last point, the main event from last night, Claudio Castagnoli, Samoa Joe. Just wanted to give it flowers. I thought it was a great match. I love both of them. They're two of my favorites. I thought it was a great match. I am looking forward to next week with the cage match.
Yeah.
And while I wasn't on here, I think they obviously were setting up last night the Bucks and the Death Riders being the team for Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna have the Bucks probably come out and interfere during the cage match next week, which is gonna set it up because you don't have much time left. But yeah, just I really enjoyed Claudio versus Joe. That's really all I had to say there.
I agree, and I like the storyline they're doing. For anyone who didn't really watch it, you have pretty much every time they're losing now, so the ops are taking out one of Moxley's generals in front of him, like daring him to come to the ring and save his guy, and they're not. So I really enjoyed Juice versus Danny.
When do
What?
Well, I'll say what.
We'll talk about
Yeah,
you.
we argue.
You just threw
we
us
argue
off.
sometimes.
So
we argue
I
sometimes.
do enjoy that they've been doing the whole like come save your guy, because they're trying to build up this story of like next week at the cage match when they have the opportunity to go save Moxley, they're not going to because he didn't save them. Blah 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 blah. I don't think that's what's going to happen, obviously, because I think it's that loyalty thing and the whole reason that the Death Riders are the Death Riders. But it's a very interesting story because now you have a lot of people who think like Samoa Joe is going to win next week because now Moxley doesn't have his guys since he didn't back them up kind of thing. And I love it. I love how they're doing it. I'm so hyped for a cage match. I know it's going to be stupid interference at the end of it, but like I'm going to enjoy much of the cage match until they interfere towards the end of it.
Yeah, they might not get inside. It might just be a lot of people fighting on the outside.
I doubt it. I don't.
And hey,
I hope I'm wrong. Trust me. I hope it's a
Yeah.
great match just between Moxley and Joe. But the chances that, especially like you said, they got Sep Anarchy in the arena. The chances that some way somehow Claudio and Yuta come out to make the save, and then Hobbs and whatchamacallit, why can't I think of the name?
Well, Hook and Shibata are out hurt, so we'll see. We'll see who comes back. Because also, just to put it out there,
Swerve.
I don't know how it's gonna work with. I don't know how it's gonna work with acclimation and whatnot. But like a week from now, Darby Allin should be back from Everest. You gotta start wondering if he's gonna show up at Anarchy.
Hey man, he's got to be the one.
Just saying.
It's got to be
We'll
Darby.
see.
Darby's got to come back and be the goddamn savior for all this stupid story to make sense to me.
Oh, calm down. Calm down.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
The story makes sense. You're just running with a bit right now. It fully makes sense.
I'm hung up on it. I gotta admit. All right, so
It makes sense. They got it there. Relax.
I'm done with it. All right, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sticking with us this week. We hope you really enjoyed the show. We're only 10 minutes past 8, so we really hope you get to go enjoy Collision.
Storm.
Join us on Tuesday at 8 p.m. for our regular
Tuesday.
Anything Goes. What?
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Ooh. For our regular Anything Goes on Tuesday, we're going to have some games. We're going to have some fun on Tuesday. And then next week, don't forget to join us at our regular scheduled time at 8 p.m. to see how our predictions went and to talk about more AEW stuff, because I can't even talk about that tag team match and that cage match. Next week's Dynamite is going to be so good. All right, everyone.
I know, mate.
Have a great night. Peace out, everybody.
Good night.